Today, I'm going to dunk on Andrew Wilson. But first, I want to go a review of the channels you'll usually see me on. First is Finkel. That's my primary channel. That's where I do most of my stuff. Don't really know where I'm going with it, but I goof off on YouTube, and this is most of it. This is my secondary channel. This channel is where I like to dunk on other channels, people, places. This is a channel that's meant to just make fun of, what else is out there. Sometimes I cross these channels and I put stuff on both, but this is more for dunking, which we're going to dunk on Andrew Wilson today. And this is a redundant dud. A redundant dud because I created it with the intention of using it the same way Chat and Play is. But the truth is, we're going to use Chat and Play. Chat and Play is not really a show, although Mondays we'd like to do movie night. Chat and Play is more of just a group of people getting up and talking and joking, and just kind of like a Zoom that everyone else can watch. And the video you're watching now, it's going here on the Finkel Dunking channel because I'm going to dunk on Andrew Wilson. The original show that I put on here that I got more reactions to than I usually do on this channel was meant to dunk on Generally Specific, but I seem to get a lot of reaction from Wilson's followers. This is the one where the clown used in his debating tactic a phrase which doesn't exist for the purpose of his debating tactic. He reinvented what the phrase force doctrine means. And I did a video on what force doctrine actually means, but I was really dunking on GS for not correcting him on the issue. Now, if you're paying attention to the screen, you just saw that I got more comments on this video on this channel than I usually do for videos on this channel. And it appears to be, I don't recognize them, the commenters. I think mostly maybe Wilson's fan club. So we're going to dunk on Wilson a little bit more, and then we're going to do a little mail call and review some of those comments. So recently while working, often when I'm working and it's quiet, I run my TV and kind of listen while I'm doing, busy work. The YouTube came across Adam Mockler. I wasn't familiar with him, but it appeared that Adam was reviewing the same debate that Generally Specific was, and he showed me something very interesting. The original debate's over 3 hours long. Who with a real life has time to watch a 3 hour and 48-minute debate? Not me. But thank you, Adam. You showed something else from that debate that I really enjoyed.
You got to open it.
Oh, I have to open it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's easier because it's an olive jar, though.
Uh-oh. Come on.
In a debate about gender roles, apparently, let's embarrass the lady and see how hard it is for her to open up a jar. Is that stereotypical or what? Well, let's cut over to the actual debate.
You filibuster the debate?
Calling me, hold on.
Why is your mom calling you in the middle of a debate?
While
don't
she's
know.
doing that, here.
Well, Andrew, I suspect that this lady is not a professional debater, so her mom doesn't know the schedule of the debates. I bet your mom does.
There we
Hold on.
go. Okay.
Hold on. Now we're going to let a couple chats come through.
Pop champagne.
Yeah, that's for the
What up,
olive
guys?
jar. Bring it.
Savage destruction tonight, Andrew.
Oh, I don't want to make a pickle
Cheers.
jar.
It's an olive jar, so it might.
And this is what I mean by professional. Being professional is not really a dunk. It literally means they're getting paid to do it. In this case, $1,000. One super chat or whatever they call it in this format is $1,000. Now, most of my audience members and the channels that I usually follow, a $100 super chat is considered an extremely large amount. In fact, when I do it, people like Generally Specific are so amazed at it that they think there's something nefarious behind it. But these people are professional. I believe the whatever channel has like 3 or 4 million subs. I don't know about the other two, but yeah, they're getting paid, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you can get paid, get paid. So in this misogynistic show, we're going to go with the stereotypical, can a lady open a jar? let's see if a lady can open a jar. Apparently, the idea is if you're a woman, if you're a girl, you cannot open a jar.
Easier. We weren't able to find. Sorry, we couldn't find the pickle jar. Go ahead, put
Oh,
it on
that's
the
not
corner
fair.
there.
He paid $1,000 for a pickle jar. You should get a pickle jar.
You know, actually, I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Can you?
Do you have a source on?
You got to open it.
Oh, I have to open it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's easier because it's an olive jar, though. Wait, put it.
My nail is fucking me up.
I don't know what's harder to open, a pickle jar or an olive jar. To me, a jar is a jar is a jar. But let's see if the lady can open an olive jar.
Oh. Come on, you can do
Put
it.
it. Put it right side up. Just
You can
so it
do
doesn't
it. You
spill
got
on you.
this.
All right, bro. I can't do it. Here.
All right.
Oh, she lost one for the sisterhood. She failed to open the jar. Andrew's right.
Go ahead.
I'm supposed to open the pickle jar?
It's like a. Yeah.
Mr. Manly Man, he's going to show him how to do it. He's going to open that pickle. Watch how easily he opens the olive jar. He's got lots of practice from, he uses olives in his martinis, right? So this will be a snap. Watch this.
It's all fucking
It's just
slick
for,
now.
it's a little.
See, it
little fun.
is.
I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either,
Well, your hand greased the whole top of it.
my hand are fine. Here.
Wait. After you wiped it off with your shirt, her hand greased it up. How do we know your hand didn't grease it up? How do we? It's just a. Well, come on, man.
Here, high five.
It
My shit is
literally-
hard as fuck.
It's like, feel it. Isn't that greasy?
It was like that already. Oh my god. you're
No, it
ridiculous.
wasn't. You greased the top.
Use your.
Very interesting. Yeah. Andrew's reason for not being able to open it is that she greased the top, not the hosts, not the studio support, and not Andrew. For some reason, it has to be her that greased the top, and she's showing her hand. What exactly are you saying here, Andrew?
My
Sure, use
Jesus,
your shirt,
Andrew, if
Andrew.
you can't open the olive jar, you cannot
Here,
blame my
while we're doing
hand.
olive jar.
If you're so strong, you should open it.
Yeah, I gotta be able to grip it.
Okay, we'll grip it. Let's
It's
go.
literally slippery.
Back.
Grab me a paper towel so I can dry the top of it off.
Okay, once
Well,
the top is dry, if you still
but do
can't
we
get it
now
out.
need to allow her another opportunity with the?
Yeah,
with
give her the
towel?
paper towel so
Give her
that.
the
No,
paper
I think
towel.
you should do it, Andrew. You're the big strong man. There you go. Come on.
Here,
just
I'm gonna
gotta
let
make
some
sure
I'm
chats come
greased.
through.
All right. Well, such a dude. I mean, some sort of grease is allegedly on the top of the jar, and he's using his clothing to wipe that grease off. What kind of is it? Hand grease? Is it packing grease? Who in the hell uses their clothing to wipe it off? Okay, dudes, you're losing for the red pill dudes, man. And again, we see a $200 super chat, which is a relatively small super chat for this type of show.
Got some
Red
chats
Fox
while they're working on
donated
that. Red
$200.
Fox, thank you.
Deontology prioritizes intent, but threshold exceptions introduce consequentialist reasoning.
I'll let
Hang
you
on.
go first if you want.
No, Andrew, I greased it all up. There you
Rules are
go.
absolute. Introducing a threshold is ad hoc.
Red Fox, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I can't grip the fucker. Like, I gotta have a way to grip it.
Since Andrew's stance is so stereotypical, I actually thought it was going to go to where she opens the jar after he tries and struggles and fails, and he was going to say something like, "See, I loosened it for you." But that's not really where it's going.
Watch this shit.
So you can't blame me for my greasy fingers now. Like, go on.
It's still greasy. The top of it's like,
You tried it with like 4
feel it
million
yourself. Tell me
Should
I'm
I-
wrong.
you know what? Should,
Is that not greasy and
It is actually a
sticky?
little greasy.
Well, I don't know what he's trying to imply by it being greasy, other than it's greasy for all of them. Look, it's greasy for her too. How do I know you didn't grease it up? Is there some kind of connotation by the greasiness coming from a specific person? I don't know, so maybe I shouldn't accuse you of that. Okay, so it's greasy for everybody, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking greasy.
I'm gonna let.
But it's the top, not the
Lulu
sides.
donated $200.
Lulu, thank you for this.
Katara, you got good morals,
who's
but you're not
Katara?
engaging with Andrew on the level in which he's challenged.
Hey, GS, if you watch this, Lulu just gave away $200. What is Lulu's intentions to get out of this $200? According to you, it means something, right?
It's
Come
just
on, bro.
greasy.
It is.
See? It's
My
fucking
hand slide
greasy.
it.
It
My
just
hand
slides
slides.
off of it, yeah.
Okay, so it's too greasy for anyone to open it. Wilson's going to invite someone named Jake over. I'm not sure who he is. I think we get into him later, but it's too greasy for Jake, right?
Try it. Nah, you fucker. That was bullshit. Bullshit. I
All
loosened
right.
it for you.
I just want to say for record,
Wah, wah, wah.
We got a little olive juice. Let's get off the table.
so
Get
does
off
he
the
have
table.
does he own your free will now? Because he could open it and you couldn't, based on Forrest.
Well,
Wipe it up.
he could at least grip it, I guess.
Bear with Wilson. He's a little embarrassed because he just got shown to be the girly man that he is. He's going to have to do a little cleanup like he usually expects the girls to do. Yeah, you lost, Wilson. You lost, man.
I just want to remind you, Andrew, that Jake just totally mogged you.
Well, didn't Jake just totally mog you?
Well, hey, I only got it
He
for like
mogged all of us. If we're being
Didn't Jake just
realistic.
mog you?
You had
He
it
kinda
for a
mogged all of
minute,
us.
Andrew, and you
It
were
was
standing up
greasy
and
as
shit.
fuck. And
I don't know who Jason is. I think he's the owner of the channel I'm going to show in a little bit. And I don't know what Mogged is. But again, as with Force Doctrine, these people tend to make up meanings for words that aren't really real.
We're
couldn't grip
standing
it.
up and shit. I got one more chat coming through, and let's try to bring it back to feminism.
Avatar Gloctavius donated $200.
Ooh, that's a great question,
Nyla,
actually.
Do you think misogyny is worse than misandry? If so, why?
Here's what we're gonna do, though.
Yeah, I like that
because
question. I mean,
time-
I have a quick answer. I think they're
one thing
both
really quick.
equally bad.
Time is limited, so we do have to kind of rapid fire through it. So
Yeah,
if you
I
guys
got
want to
this.
have a brief back and forth.
This is super
I don't.
quick.
I want to get back to the view.
I agree with that. No, I don't think misogyny is worse than misandry. I think they are both equally bad. I think that
Now, for these red pill manosphere, men are greater than women, misogynist types, they usually will explain to us how misandry is worse than get me tongue tied. But in this case, Andrew's not listening to respond. He's not listening to the content. He's fuming about how he just got shown up to be a girly man when he's talking shit about being manly. Uh, so he totally misses that, and he focuses on how do I redeem myself for not being over to open a jar.
specifically, I think that the point should be to create a society in which both sexes work together. I will acknowledge that there are differences between men and women physiologically, but at the same time, I do think that mentally both groups are an inherent net positive on our society, and I think that it is better if both groups work together. And anyone who is willing to sow divisiveness between men and women, I do not agree with.
By the way, I just want to point out to the chat to go over to Jake's travel blog and watch as he couldn't cock a rifle, and I had to literally grab it from him and cock this rifle because he couldn't do it. Just want to point that out.
When you fail to show your manly dominance over women by opening or failing, should we say, to open a jar, let us turn to our manliness with guns. Now, I totally understand, being a veteran, there are uses and needs for guns. However, when you use the gun to compensate for your manliness, you're just kind of opening yourself up to demonstrating what a small penis you have and how insecure you are about your small penis. Well, okay, not always a small penis. Sometimes it could be, here we go, the absence of a penis, trying to act like someone who has a penis by demonstrating you know how to point a gun at a man's head because you're a girl who likes to dress up.
Between men and women, I do not agree with.
By the way, I just want to point out to the chat to go over to Jake's travel blog and watch as he couldn't cock a rifle, and I had to literally grab it from him and cock this rifle because he couldn't do it. Just want to point that out.
Not really sure what he's referencing there, but I did find a YouTube channel where a guy named Jake is being instructed by this compensating man because he knows so much about firearms. Let's take a look. It was kind of a painful video to watch, but I have to give Mr. Andrew Wilson credit. He can do something I cannot do. he can play guitar. That takes some skill. Okay, so he can play guitar, he can debate, and he's got some skill with guns as he tries to compensate.
Magazine is angled in, like this. See the angle?
Yep.
Angle. You hear that click?
Yep.
Not going anywhere, right? Rat.
Oh my God. Yes, if you saw what I saw, you saw it correctly. He's teaching another gentleman how to use these firearms, and he's using a AK-47, holding it under his arm, between his bicep and his chest. Wow.
Easy, anybody can do it. Like little kids in Somalia who do. Check. Right?
Yep.
Rifle. Right in the snow. Doesn't hurt a bit. We'll put up target.
Now, his student he was paying attention. I don't think Andrew realized that he was showing him the wrong way, but he corrects him here.
Now, don't fire at an angle. Stand right here and just tear that fucking piece of wood all to shit with that AK.
And you want to keep it locked into your bicep? Or?
See, Andrew knows you don't keep it between your bicep and your chest. Why did he show it that way? Come on, Andrew. Now, even if you're lazy, if you're trying to teach someone how to use a firearm who's never used it before, don't do this shit because he's paying attention, as you just saw. Come on, Andrew, do better.
See the big giant piece of wood?
That one that's got all the bullet marks in it?
Yeah, just tear it open.
All right, so he is accurately teaching the student a little about stance, and another student's there too. By the way, if you want to talk about manliness, you see Mr. Wilson's all bundled up like he's in the Arctic, and the other guy's got a jean jacket and a sweatshirt under it. But look how his poisonous idea of what manhood is kind of spreads to this other fellow. What does he reference the weapon to?
AK-47. It beat me up a little bit the first time. But then I got over it and made it my bitch, I think.
Made it my bitch. Your firearm is your bitch. Okay. Now, after correcting the student, watch him put it under his arm again.
This under here, under your arm. See that? Put your foot out and just let it fucking go. Boom, 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 boom.
Under the arm.
Under the arm. Boom, 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 boom. Hand.
Now, that time, he literally told him to put it under the arm. Wilson, Wilson, Wilson! Where in the fuck did you learn this shit? You cannot control that weapon while it's tucked under your arm. I'm really not making this shit up. You just heard him. Under your arm. Especially one-handed shooting while you're giving a Nazi salute. You need two hands on that weapon. You're not Rambo. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fun dirkering. Nice.
Pick it back up. You drop it. Drop it. There you
Okay. So he had him actually pick the weapon back up and drop it. Make sure you're dropping it without taking the magazine and clearing the weapon. You're just going to throw it on the ground. Is this a neighborhood? Do you have neighbors? What the fuck, man?
go.
Dirker.
Why do we use AK-47?
So that we can dirk it better.
So that we can be mean as fuck to them, right? All right.
So your purpose for your choice of weapon is to be as mean as fuck. Well, if you want to be mean as fuck, why not use an AR or something that uses a 5.56 or a 223? There seems to be a common misconception that somehow a 7.62 weapon is meaner. I got news for you. Gun enthusiasts prefer the 5.56, the AR-15 type, because it's lighter. It often has distinct advantages such as long-range performance. Yes, the 7.62 will go further, but the long-range performance is much better. A flatter trajectory and a milder recoil. It's actually an easier weapon to use. The 5.56 is actually deadlier in military context, is more deadly than the 7.62, despite the 7.62 being larger and bigger and have a greater range. The 5.56 items from its higher velocity and tendency to fragment upon impact. This is why active shooters, mass shooters, prefer the AR-15. The 5.56, commonly referred to in the civilian as the 223, is a thin jacket and high velocity can lead to fragmentation and a greater wound cavity. Greater wound cavity than the bigger bullet, yes. Its range is a flatter trajectory and a lighter weight to make it easier to shoot accurately at longer ranges. The 7.62, like the AK, while also accurate, can be more challenging to control at longer distances, especially when you fire from the armpit. Put that thing squarely in your shoulder. The 5.56 or 223 is preferred by mass shooters because one, it's easier to use, and two, it has a deadlier effect when your only purpose is to unalive as many people as possible in the shortest period of time. And also on the AR-15, you can take a high school dropout, like me, and just through a few drills, learn how to do a rapid magazine change much faster. As you saw, even the expert, Andrew Wilson, teaching his fellow Red Pill friend, Jake, it was a little challenging to to enter that magazine and to chamber around. Mass shooters tend to go with the 5.56. Well, it has a higher death rate, and that's what they're going for. They want to go on the record for being the killing the most in the shortest period of time as possible. In recent years, it's been much more. The 7.62 or the 30-30 in civilian terms tend to have a higher stopping power. That means if someone's coming at you, one person, you hit them with a 7.62, they're more likely to stop immediately. The 5.56 or the 223 will actually splinter and tumble and climb and have an end result of being deadlier. In let's say 1966, a trained veteran at the University of Texas, he shot 46 people. Only 15 of them died, including the unborn child. So when the mom died, the child died too. And his primary weapon was an M1 of the 7.62 variety. Let's compare it to the 5.56. In 2017, Stephen Paddock, with absolutely no military training at all, he managed to unalive 60 people. Now, if you use that against 1,000 rounds hit, 413 others were wounded, but that includes the people who were trampled on in the panic. But the actual killing rate of the 5.56 by Mr. Paddock was a lot higher rate than the 7.62 used by the Texas University dude. And another fellow actually had absolutely no military training. In fact, he was a high school dropout, learned how to do rapid magazine changes and stuff like that very easily. He killed 17 people and injured 18 more. That's nearly a 50% kill rate for the targets hit. And he also used the 5.56 or 223. He used an AR-15 style. So yeah, you can drop an AK-47 in the snow. Dudes like this aren't dropping shit in the snow. They're going for the max kill rate. The reason I'm bringing this up, months ago, I had several people on a panel tell me that 5.56 is not deadlier than the 7.62. The 5.56 historically is deadlier than the 7.62. It's easier to use, it's easier to learn, it's easier to change magazines. Charge, which is charge and cock, it is deadlier. Now, Andrew is showing us he collects Apparently, this weapon is over 70 years old. It's from World War II. I didn't catch if it was German or Russian. Apparently, it was used either by one or the other against the other. And of course, the guy who doesn't own the weapon is struggling both with loading the bullets and with charging the weapon. Now, Andrew calls it cocking, but charging is when you put a round into the chamber, which this weapon is what you're doing. Cocking is when you're just putting tension on the spring that controls the hammer from the trigger. This is charging a weapon, not cocking it. But the way these manly men talk shit to each other, we're going to hear either Jake or Jake's friend, I'm not sure which, kind of tease him that a 16-year-old conscript can do this.
Literal 16-year-olds conscripted did that.
Now, push your man hand, pull it back towards you, and let it go. Man hands.
All right, he was having a hard time charging, or in Andrew's phraseology, cocking the weapon. I don't know if he was talking about this guy or the other guy, which one. The guy, whoever opened up the pickle jar, or the olive jar, had a hard time cocking the weapon. Of course, Andrew puts his back to the camera. We don't really see what he does, but he says, manhandle it, and he charges the weapon.
We get cut in half with that. Your other hand, push that straight down in there. Hard, boy. Hard. Till it clicks. Yeah. Now, right? Seize it like this. Pull. Seize it.
Yep.
Pull straight back to you. Hard. Harder.
Yeah, again, I don't know if Jake's the first guy or the second guy. I don't know if the guy who so easily opened the olive jar was the first guy or second guy. But when the first guy had a hard time loading the bullets and charging with the weapon, Andrew, not cocking, charging the weapon, when he had a hard time doing that, the other guy who was holding the camera or the phone, he kind of talked shit. This is why you don't talk shit because on something you've never done before in your life, because you're about to do it too, and you're about to have the same problem.
Learn, you kids.
Now, are you watching the screen? Are you hearing my voice? Or are you paying attention to the chat? What you saw on the screen, and play it back. Don't take my word for it. Don't let me tell you what you saw. Actually watch yourself, and you will see. The first time, the first gentleman who couldn't charge the weapon, not cock, but charge, Andrew put his back to us, not intentionally, but he talked shit about you got to manhandle it. You got to use brute force, and he very easily charged the weapon. I'm sorry, in his term, cocked the weapon. Okay. Now in the second example, when the guy in the blue heavier jacket, when he did it, he didn't cover it with his back, and again he's talking shit about how tough he is because he can charge the weapon and these young kids, in his words, can't. The truth is, this is his privately owned weapon. He's very familiar with it, and he knows that you don't just pull back on this, you pull back and lift up. In a very smooth motion, he lifted up. He didn't tell the guys that. He just let them think that they're weaker. They can't charge the weapon. It's not brute force. It's literally pull back on the charging handle while lifting up. It's a very smooth motion. It's not strength. It's just knowing the weapon. Come on, guys.
For about $3 a pound.
Yeah.
But I want that original shit, dude.
For real.
I want to kill you the way my granddaddy did.
Yeah.
And if you were in front of that gun, what would happen? You're done.
Yeah.
It cut you in half like a fucking. There's such brutal weapons that we deployed in that war.
I hope he's exaggerating, because no, a single shot from that gun would not cut you in half. It would take several shots. It would stop you. Most likely, it'll kill you. It's not gonna cut you in half with one shot. It could be just braggadocious exaggeration, but no, not cutting people in half with one round. Try again.
Jar of Doom?
Is
But I digress. Let's get back to what do you say, the Jar of Doom? All right, he's taking it kind of well. Let's see where it goes from here.
But
I
we
think
do
that
have a
is
draft.
inherently immoral as well.
Yeah, but we do have a draft. We do, descriptively.
I know, and we should.
And how could it be that young men especially, can be drafted?
Oh, come on, Wilson. I don't even have to Google this. We do not currently have a draft. We have a system, a plan, if you will, in place in case we ever do go back to the draft. But here in 2025, the United States of America does not have a draft. We have a selective service program to keep us prepared in case we ever go back to conscripting people into the military service.
A similar pattern of population decline occurred.
So it is true that violence and forced displacement did kill a lot of Native Americans. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
What I am saying, though, is that disease killed the overwhelming amount of the Native population.
By the way, did we ever get the results on whether or not smallpox?
The smallpox blink
Also,
is...
I don't. If he's not going to answer, we are gonna drive up to Northern Cali. So I probably.
all right, guys. So
Very surprisingly to me, a federal government NIH site has not yet been molested by the cultural redefinition by the Trump administration. This still has up, given time, it'll probably come down, that the Native American depopulation since 1492, mostly in what is today the United States, the depopulation is a combination of things. One is being naturally exposed to European diseases like smallpox. One is the intentional exposure, like the smallpox blankets and other ways of trying to contaminate them. Don't forget the idea that the Indians should be civilized by driving Studebakers and bourbon. That bourbon part really paid off, didn't it? But yeah, it's not just the genocide of like the Trail of Tears, where white people actually killed Native Americans, but also made them move to harsher land that was hard to maintain. So it's a combination of disease, movement, forced movement, and actual murder that there has been a huge depopulation of the Native American population since before even we came to North America, when we were in Central and South America in 1492 of Columbus's bullshit. But even since the United States has become a country, the genocide continued, one, through intentional disease, two, through actual murder and war, and three, by forcing them to move to places in conditions that it was hard to survive. Still there today. Will it be there tomorrow? Because every day that the Trump administration continues, quote, history, end quote, changes on government websites, including the Smithsonian. Look what they're doing to the African American Museum. Let us move on. Apparently, they weren't quite done with the jar opening contest, the battle of the sexes in opening jars. Let's watch a little more of that.
So we have pickle jars for each of you.
Doesn't someone have to pay an additional $1,000 for me to open?
How do you know
another
they
pickle jar?
didn't?
Well, because it said it on. It says it on the screen.
That doesn't mean he shows every single
All
one
right,
of
just
them.
go ahead and give it. And we've given you if you need to wipe it down or whatever.
I can't do this with my.
Well, okay. I see the attraction between Wilson and Generally Specific, just not being able to understand what's right before them. Yes, when the automated voice with the weird robotic voice says someone gave $1,000 or $200, that is automatic. The show doesn't have a choice unless they go back and edit it later while they're there live talking, and someone donates 100 or 500 or whatever. The automated voice comes on and it reads out the text. When they do a super chat in YouTube, a pop, the host can bring up the pop up and says so. I don't get how you don't understand that, Wilson. You do this professionally. I do this amateurishly, and I get that. You don't get that.
Nails on, but okay. All right, I didn't get it.
Give it another. Come on.
No, it's
Gotta
so
tap it.
hard.
You got to tap it. All right, let's see. Do it on the table if you can.
Oh shit!
Wait, put it on the table. Put it on the table.
And score one for the sisterhood. Andrew struggled a little bit longer than the lady did. So much for that red pill manhood.
You undersold yourself a little bit. You undersold yourself.
That wasn't that hard.
All right, take them off the table, please.
Yeah,
well done
I
to
got
both
myself
of you.
very messy.
Well done to both of you.
I do just want to go back to some of the claims you made in your closing.
No, no, no. You don't get a participation trophy. This is red pill manhood. You either win or you lose. The lady won. Andrew, you lost.
I'm not really.
Now, it didn't take long for me getting involved in YouTube and other social media that red pill, like many other words and phrases, the right get wrong. A lot of people get wrong, like forced doctrine. Okay, apparently red pill comes from the movie Matrix. It's a fictional movie, and there's a scene where a guy is trying to tell the main star, if you take the red pill, you're going to be in reality, but if you take the blue pill, you're going to be in fantasy. If you want the truth, take the red pill. The truth is, the movie further explains, but these people don't realize it, that it's actually the opposite. The blue pill gets you into reality, and the red pill is the one that keeps you duped. But these folks who think the red pill, the manosphere, the male superiority, they're actually compensating. I think that they should be considering a different blue pill, like maybe this one. Come on, Brick. Come on, Andrew. Come on, Todd. You know, you need them. You love them. You can't live without them. Yeah. Come on over to the blue pill side. Come out of the closet and admit that you take the blue pill because, you need all the help you can get. I mean, really, if you're going to lean on science fiction to explain men versus women, you got to play the tape all the way through.
That's right. Ever since the world began, woman was always teaching man. You listen to my bit attentively. I can tell you how she smarter than me, cannot me. But they say that the men are leading the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way. Samson was the strongest man long ago. No one could have beat him, as we all know, until he clashed with Delilah on top of the bed. She told him all the strength was in the hair of his head, and not me. But they say that
I mean, if you're going to have a battle of the sexes, these are the wrong dudes to represent the male half of the species. I mean, look at them. Look at them. Women all over the world are laughing at you. Hell, men are laughing at you too. Yeah, go back to that blue pill, because the red pill, it ain't working for you. All right, so I think it's time for mail call. Let me see, go to the Finkel Dunking Show. Okay, there's the home page. Let's go to videos. All right, and let's invent meanings of words and phrases. I choose forced doctrine. All right, pitter patter, let's get at her. Once upon a time. Okay, here we are. Let's scroll down to the comments. And let's sort by, should we go newest first? Yeah. All right. For our most recent comment, you, she, and most of America. Oh, this is from Boda Sactra, 11 hours ago, from the time I'm recording it. Not the time you're watching it. Yeah, it's a little cut off, but that's all right. Can we move it? There we go. Yeah. Oh, let's come back over this way a little bit. Okay, Boda Asaktra. You, she, and most of America need to learn the laws of logic and the art of debate. The art of debate? Okay, the art of debate. Or you mistake what Andrew is talking about and you look stupid for it. Well, okay. What I dunked on Andrew and Generally Specific for was using the term force doctrine. Force doctrine has one meaning and one meaning only. My point was that Andrew Wilson was making up the meanings of phrases, and I showed right there what the actual meaning is, and I dunked on Generally Specific for not correcting on him. Generally Specific, being a veteran, should know what force doctrine is. Where was I? Since you and she are ignorant on those topics, you're mistaking Andrew's attempts to get to the factual truth about force doctrine? No. And what you think he feels ought to be. He has feelings. Yes, he's a very sensitive man. He has feelings. That's not the truth. That is feelings. Okay, that's truth. The truth don't care about Andrew's or anyone's opinions or feelings. That's the truth statement. It just is. Right. It just is. Force doctrine just is how a military organization pushes towards a certain objective or goal. Period. Do a few online classes. I just gave an online class. Okay. Let's move on. I'm a retard too. This is by Ridio They Retiring. Yeah, okay. I'm a retard too. 4th level tard. In this scenario, long live President Camacho. Okay, I have no idea what that means. So I'm going to move on. Joshua Miller hyphen 06U. 06U? 06U. All right. It's a long one, so I'm going to have to click on read more. Andrew is not a misogynist. Well, actually, yeah, he is. Okay. Where do rights come from outside a Christian worldview? Where do rights come from outside a Christian worldview? First of all, there is no Christian worldview. There are many sub-religions, sects, parts of Christianity. There is not one Christian worldview. I used to think what decided the difference between a Christian and any other religion was a Christian believed that the purpose for Christ coming to the world was to pay for our sins, to die for our sins, to be our defense lawyer, if you will. However, many Christians today don't believe that. So there really is no single one Christian worldview. Where do rights come from outside the Christian worldview? Let me see. Rights are attempted at and explained thousands of years before Christianity. Remember, Christianity started 2,025 years ago, give or take, the 33 years of Christ's life. But Christianity is not the first. In fact, if you believe in the Christian Bible, it's the New Testament is only the second half. The first half is the same as the Jewish Bible, which goes probably 2, 3, 4,000 years before Christ, and rights are mentioned in there. Before Judaism, many civilizations had rights. So where do they come from outside the Christian view? I can't. I don't know. I'm not that big of a history buff. I can go back more than 5 or 6 thousand years. So yeah, can't answer that. Okay, next question. What stops people from doing anything that would take away your support rights? Okay, and that's where Andrew reinvented what force doctrine is. I get it. To defend rights, yep, you have to have strength. And it's not just male strength; it is strength. As you just saw earlier in my video before I went to mail call, uh, that's right. The women are smarter. Many times in history and in fiction, the women are smarter. Yeah, I get it. Usually, and then we saw not always, usually a man can more easily open a pickle jar or an olive jar. But as we saw in the video earlier, not always. Okay. Um, Fourth question, or fourth statement, fourth bullet. Women absolutely need men to protect their rights. No. Sometimes, not always. If men collectively decided women had no rights, they wouldn't. Actually, no. Collectively, men in early the United States of America decided that women don't have the right to vote, don't have the right to own land, don't have the right to do this, don't right to do that. Women fought for that, women's suffrage. If you go back through history and look at women's suffrage, where are the men fighting for women's suffrage? A very small number of men. That was, I don't know the math, I'm going to say 80 or 90% women. There are plenty of examples like this now. Yeah, a man can defend a woman can defend a man. The other day, I was in Trolling Generally Specific. Actually, I went there to discuss, and he went to trolling me from the stage, and his wife defended him. He needed his wife to defend him. It works both ways. Men and women can defend each other, but you're responding to a YouTube video where I'm pointing out the definition, the literal definition of force doctrine, a term that Andrew Wilson is using incorrectly. That's my whole point that went way over Joshua Miller's head. And 5, with a significant space, yes, asking someone why ought you do something is a valid question. Yeah, what's your point? Why should you do something? Ask me why should I do a dunking video on Generally Specific and a few days later do a dunking video on Andrew Wilson? Because I fucking feel like it. That's the answer. The question is, ask why you had to, it's a valid question, and whether or not it's answered, it's up to the answerer. I didn't think someone could be dumber than Destiny. I take it Destiny's a person, and apparently Joshua thinks Destiny is pretty stupid. But if you look at bullets 1 through 5 in the unnumbered point 6, because they're not all questions, some are questions, some are statements. Clearly, now I can't compare to Destiny because I don't know who Destiny is. Joshua, you one dumb motherfucker. I see someone replied to Joshua, and at underscore NCKO, 2. Oh, he's answering the bullet number 2. Okay, bullet number 2 is where do rights come from outside the Christian view? 2, a Muslim worldview or a Jewish worldview or a Zoroastrian, I don't know what Zoroastrian worldview, or any of the infinite number of possible yeah, that's true. Jewish worldviews are older than Christian. Muslim are more recent and outside. Now, I'm going to bet that Joshua Miller thinks that Muslim have no rights and values. Actually, they do. You're stereotypical. You're being well, okay, let's not go into that. Okay, so this is a good answer. I don't know what Zoroastrian is, or any other infinite number of possible. Yeah, there are many worldviews on what rights are. The real question is, which one is the true one? That is a good question. And I don't know the answer. I mean, technically, a worldview is an opinion on a global scale. It's an opinion. Okay, and 4, okay, he's answering women absolutely need men. Oh, okay, all right, let's see what. How can women need men to protect their rights if rights don't exist? Very good point. Actually, I don't know if Joshua said that rights don't exist, but we have heard many red pillars say that rights don't exist. For example, Brick Jonesy. According to you, there is nothing to protect. I'm taking it Nico and Josh have gone at it before, and this is partially a, a continuation of another argument. All right. And Scott Hot Ved 9057 says trippy. Well, yes, it is trippy. And J Rig 2007 a day ago says you, sir, definitely voted for O Joe. I'm taking it as the reference is Joe, Joe Scarborough, no, not JJ's. Joe Biden. Yes, the previous president. Well, yes, I definitely voted for Joe Biden. Out of context from what you're saying, in 2020. I did not vote for Joe Biden in 2024, and I would think someone making a comment in 2025 would be referring to the most recent, but maybe you're just stuck in time. Yes, I voted for Joe. Speaking of debates, Joe lost a debate to Trump. And somewhat as a result of that, Trump is now president. Yes, sir, I voted for the guy who did not send ICE and HIS and thugs after human beings with masks on and billy clubs and sledgehammers and battle axes breaking into doors. And I'm absolutely fucking proud that I voted for Joe. Did you vote for Trump? Well, shame on you. Okay, Drakpot-O. Any man who uses the word misogyny, Cabe be taken seriously. Now, I read out Cabe as Cabe because I am making fun of it. But the truth is, I can read through a typo. B and E. B is next to N, and E is close to T. So he's just a poor typist. He made a typo. He means any man who uses the word misogyny cannot be taken seriously. Well, okay. Jack, are you a male? Let me see. Jack Potto. Jack Potto is, yeah, I'm guessing you're a male. Okay. So, let me put that on pause. And Jack, any man who uses the word misogyny, I want you to note, Jackpot Yo just used the word misogyny. And he's saying can't be taken seriously. So you're correct, Jackpot. I cannot take you seriously. Oh, we're out of order. Let's go back to sort by newest first. Okay. Yeah. All right. I used the word misogyny. By the way, in the video where Andrew debated the lady, he used the word misogyny too. So are you taking him seriously? I sure as hell am not. Okay. And B-Clan. Oh. Okay, B-Clan 9899 says, if you want to debate Andrew instead of leeching off his content to make hate bait, I'm sure he would welcome the opportunity. Who says I want to debate him? I saw him say something that was fallible, and I pointed out the fallacy of his fallible statement, force doctrine. And I proved what force doctrine is. And I challenge anyone to reply to me with proof that force doctrine has anything to do with what he was talking about. And so far, I'm recording this on May 23rd. So far, no one has given me any kind of evidence that force doctrine means anything other than what I said it means. Okay, why would I want to debate that? I just heard him say something, and I'm proving him to be wrong about that something. I'm sure he's right about a few things. Obviously, he knows a few chords on the guitar. I know 0 chords on the guitar. He's got me there. A debate. Let me tell you. Okay, the next one says I should debate. Oh, okay. Just saying retard over and over again is not interesting. Well, if you heard me say retard more than once or twice, then you are interested enough to watch the whole video, or at least enough to hear it more than once or twice. Over and over would imply that I've said it throughout the thing, and I think I did overuse the term retard. The truth is, I misjudged that young lady. She seems actually pretty intelligent, definitely more intelligent than Andrew. And the next comment says, you should debate Andrew. Okay, what is this about? Okay, let me tell you something about debates. There are two purposes for debates. One is to teach a high school, junior high school, or a college student how to socially interact in a structured debate club or debate team so they know how to articulate their points of view. That's one reason. To educate young people how to articulate things. I'm 60 years old. I'm not young. There is another purpose for debate. Debate is for like political candidates or people trying to get you to believe their point of view. Okay, which is Andrew? I think a little bit of both. He's a child learning how to socially interact with other people, and he's trying to get his point of view across through, and his method is talking deeper. He's got a deep voice, and talking over the other person, and insisting that something that they don't know, like, quote, forced doctrine, and it's true, she didn't know about it. So it's functional because he used a term on her that she doesn't know. He doesn't know either, but he speaks with confidence and bass and like he's some kind of authority. And what is the point? I am neither a child trying to learn how to articulate, as they do in junior high school, and college, nor am I a political candidate or someone who has nothing better to do with his life but sit on YouTube all day and discuss things with other people in an argumentative way. That's what debate is. Neither reason for debate applies to me. If I see something and I think it's wrong, I'll pull it up and show you where it's wrong. For example, forced doctrine. Okay, the second suggestion that there's a debate has two replies. Let's take a look at those. Laugh out loud, I agree. Stefan Rigo 6065. That might be Stephen. It might be the British Steve. Stefan, I don't know if it's a Stephanie or Stefan. But these apparently, Joshua Mill. Oh, Joshua's back. It would be over in 2 seconds. Well, yes. If I agreed to debate Andrew Wilson on what forced doctrine is, it would be over in 2 seconds. I just show him the dictionary, the encyclopedia, the web definition of what forced doctrine is. And he would just spurg off with the mouth and really, end of debate. I win. There's no point in debating it. Or he could debate me on something like, how do you play the guitar? He would win in 2 seconds because he knows how to play the guitar and I don't. So what would the point be in this debate? What it would be for Joshua and Stephen and Big Mikey and B-Clan would be 3 hours and 48 minutes of entertainment because they have nothing better to do in their lives but watch two people debate something for more than, what do you say, 2 seconds? More than 2 seconds. Obviously, they watch this entire debate. Obviously, these are fans of Andrew Wilson, and all Andrew Wilson does, besides occasionally go on another channel and teach wrongly how to use firearms, he debates. He's a professional debater. He's a professional child trying to learn how to articulate, or he's a professional candidate trying to prove his point. And he's very practiced at it, and he leans on picking out and making up words and phrases that the other person doesn't know, so he appears to be smarter and more authoritative. Now, here we are a few days later than when I posted this, 3 days ago, when I posted this and originally covered this debate. And again, apologies to the lady for using the term retard on her. She's obviously not intellectually smart. Well, she is. She's intellectually smart, but she's also emotionally smart. That is when Andrew threw the faked use of the phrase forced doctrine on her, she was honest and admitted, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. One, she doesn't know the real one because she's never been in the military, never studied the military. And two, because she has no idea what his made up phraseology is about it. Do I want to debate him? Not really. I don't really care. One, for your entertainment, and two, I know how to articulate. And when I have a different point of view than someone, I will actually do the intellectual curious thing and look it up. Or if I already know it, like forced doctrine, I will explain it. Now, as to this guy here drinking from the thermos, that's generally specific. That was the original intent of the, wow, 567 views. That's unusual for this channel. Generally specific is always saying stupid shit like we heard Andrew Wilson do. I don't really follow Andrew Wilson, but I understand how stupid people listen to stupid people. I mean, generally specific covering this was also more than 1 hour, and what he's covering and opining on stupid shit. He had an opportunity to correct his audience on what force doctrine is. But I kind of rib him because of things like, oh, being an E5P without ever been to a promotion board. He says a lot of stupid things, and we correct him a lot of stupid things. And every now and then we want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and we want to go in and discuss things, and you'll just throw something out like, well, you're a failure because you got divorced 25 years ago, and you said your ex-wife's a bitch, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right. You don't want to have a discussion? If I'm going to give you clicks and views, I'm going to have to come back and have to go back to the your wife jokes. Because, generally specific, if you're watching, you went there first. I come in talking about the topic that's on the screen at the time. You go off with the personal shit, and then you get all mad that I respond in kind. And then your wife, your groomed wife, who on her 50th birthday, you also celebrated 34 years of marriage. 50 minus 34 is what? Your groomed wife had to defend you. Who defends poor Andrew? He doesn't have a girl to defend him. So, yeah, red pill, blue pill, manosphere, blogosphere. I guess you all can just shut the fuck up, or you can like, comment, share, whatever. Carry on, motherfuckers. Carry on.
I say let us put man and a woman together to find out which one is smarter. Some say men, but I say no. The women got the men beat, they should know, and not me. But the people, they say that the men are leading the women astray, but I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right. That's right. Ever since the world began, woman was always teaching man. You listen to my bit attentively. I'm going to tell you how she smarter than he and not me. But the people, they say that the men are leading the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way. Samson was the strongest man long ago. No one could have beat him as we all know, until he clashed with Delilah on top of the bed.
Donald, what are they talking about? I do not understand.
I don't know. I am so confused.
Donald, what are they talking about? I do not understand.
I really have no fucking idea.
She told him all the strength was in the hair of his head, and not me. But the people, they say that the men are leading the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right. That's right. Hey, you meet a girl at a pretty dance, thinking that you would stand a chance. Take her home thinking she's alone. Open the door. You find her husband home, not me. But the people, they say that the men are leading the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way.
Oh?
That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right, the woman is smarter. That's right. That's right. I was treating a girl independently. She was making baby for me when the baby born and I went to see. Eyes was blue. Sure. It was not by me, not me. But the people, they say that the men are leading the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than the man in every way. Oh yes, smarter.
That is absolutely right. Mr. Harry Belafonte wrote that many, many years ago. But Harry, I gotta tell you, there are exceptions to every rule, like these, for lack of a better word, ladies.